as I make beats. Welcome to my channel. Today, hang out as we construct a jazzy boom bap sample based beat. So stick with me. Alright everyone, so let's start off with the drums. Going through my sounds, let me browse here. Yeah, that's one of them right there. So yeah, overall some really nice jazzy boom bappy drum loops there. So I went on ahead and made my selection, and what I selected was the following. So two different drum loops, but they kind of go back to back, and they have a variation in how the drums are played on each section. So I thought that went very well. So I created a loop of that. Also on track 2, we have our piano samples. Alright, so that's one of them right there. That's the other one. Just load that one there. So let's check out the first one first. So here's that sample. And the only part I really wanted was after all of that. I wanted it to start about right here. And the second part was all I wanted was the ending where the sustain chord starts about right there. We ended up with that is gonna be nasty. If you guys are enjoying this type of content and would like to see more of it, please feel free to leave me a comment below. Also, if you guys are interested in sample packs, chord packs, loop kits, construction kits, be sure to check the description. Let's finish this beat. Alright, so I had something in my mind. As promised, I'm going to break it down for you. So originally we had these chops here. And I showed you where I took them from in each of the different samples. But in both of those samples, there were beginning parts. So what I ended up doing is I took only the beginning parts of each of the two samples and I placed them on the pads as such. So we end up with something like this. Punchy, real jazzy, and I'm really liking the vibe. So what I want to do now is we want to go back to the drum track. I think I want to add some hi-hats and some crashes to kind of offset the portion of the sequence where there's no drums, just to kind of give it a build up to the drums. You know what? I may have changed my mind because this pattern right here really sounds good. That might work. Let's try it. So I added a air reverb to that second or third drum pattern, and I put it on a basic small room so it gives it this sound. So all together, and you get the idea. I usually kind of record my bass sound a little higher than a bass should sound. That way I can hear the tonality of each note that I'm hitting. And then after I've recorded it and it sounds right, then I usually drop it down an octave from where you see it sitting. I haven't dropped it yet because I want to take only this section here of the bass, not the beginning, not the end, but the middle section, and move it to where it should be in the next 4 bars. So I want to copy this, hold down shift, hit copy. So as you can see now, I have taken the second and third measures and pasted them over to the 5th and 6th measure, or 6th and 7th measure, to give it this kind of flow. And then of course I'm going to tweak the sounds. What I'm going to do here in this section, I don't want to exactly emulate what's here, so I'm going to remove some of these so that it kind of sounds the same but not quite. Alright, so as you can see here, here's the section that I repasted that I was talking about earlier. I removed some sections here and some sections here, so when we zoom out you can see how it slightly differs from this one and this one to that one, just to give it some character. So I'm going to play it the way it is now, and then we'll move it down an octave to kind of give it some character. So I love that variation where the bass will cut off and the piano's bass picks up on this one, where it's a combination of the piano bass and the bass on the first section. So it does add some character. So now let me go ahead and grab all of this and move it down 1 octave where it should sit in a bass, perspective. After something so major, I always stop and save. So I'm going to go ahead and save this so that I don't lose any progress. And now we can continue to move forward. And I used the basic bass line as my starting point, but that's not the bass that I think I want. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try to set the bass that we really want to vibe with these pianos. It may end up being the basic bass. I may have to go ahead and tweak it, add some distortion, and do some other things to it, but let's go ahead and kind of peruse through these presets and see if we can find something that really works. This is a technique that I use. I have never shared this, so why not share it today? I love the rezo sound. It kind of has that funk sound to it, but I also kind of like the basic bassline sound, which I still may change. But what I want to do is, in certain sections of the song, I want the rezo, but in other sections, I want the basic bass. So I'm going to show you how I do that.